This week's DRM Not Included on F5 Live Refreshing Technology is proudly powered by Amazon Prime. We all know that you get free shipping on millions of products with Amazon Prime, but you get a whole lot more. Like free music with Amazon Prime Music, free TV, movies, and documentaries with Amazon Prime Video, free games, and a free Twitch subscription to support the content creator of your choice with Amazon Prime Gaming, plus a whole lot more. We've got links to all of these features and some of our favorites, plus a 30-day free trial, all by going to f5live.tv/prime. So, Paramount Plus has had an interesting history. When it started, it was called CBS All Access, which turned out to be a naming mistake because CBS has a particular image, particularly among younger people outside of the Big Bang Theory at the time. CBS was pretty well known as content for older people, so when the CBS All Access streaming service started, there was confusion for people outside of the industry. So it didn't do great, and then of course they botched their live stream of the Super Bowl, and that didn't help. And then CBS merged with Viacom, and all kinds of things happened. And in that shakeup, they renamed the platform to Paramount Plus. They did some UI updates, because All Access was not the easiest UI to use. The Paramount Plus one is way better. There are things from it that I absolutely love. But as competition in the streaming world has grown, the interest in having multiple streaming platforms under a single brand has waned. We know that Disney has said that they're interested in, once they have full ownership of Hulu, potentially collapsing Hulu and Disney Plus into a single platform. We know that HBO Max and Discovery Plus are in the process of doing that right now. And now we are learning that Paramount Plus and Showtime will be doing the same thing. And Paramount Plus will be getting a slightly different name, which nobody will use. It will be Paramount Plus with Showtime. And nobody will call it anything but Paramount Plus. And like Sprint together with Nextel, within a year or two, the tag will get dropped and it'll go back to just being Paramount Plus. But the important thing is here that Showtime is being scooped up into the Paramount Plus application, into the brand, and into the subscription. Details on the plan are limited because this comes from an internal pair of leaked memos about an internal announcement. But it's definitely happening. We don't know if what will happen is it'll be a tiered kind of a thing where you can have Paramount Plus, or you can have Paramount Plus with Showtime, with ads, without. There might be options like that. But it's definitely happening. It's not a terrible surprise, considering right now you can sign up and bundle Showtime into your Paramount Plus subscription and access them all through the same application. So the idea of just, axing the other application, not a huge surprise, but it is official. The CEO and the head of the division, I believe, have both confirmed that, yes, this is happening. And with it goes some content, a couple of shows that have a first season. Let the Right One In and American Gigolo have both been canceled. There will be no second season. And a project called 3 Women, whose description says that it stars 4 women, which is beyond confusing to me, has finished shooting but will not air. And they'll likely try to shop that around to somebody else. I don't know why that ever happens, but whatever. But this is where we are. Like I said, I suspect, Abram, that within a pretty short period of time, the with Showtime will get dropped, like, together with Nextel, and we'll be back to Paramount Plus. But it seems like this poor service just can't catch a break with a name.
I mean, look, I guess they're throwing a bone to Showtime.
Yeah.
Uh, uh, so, I mean, I guess you know. I guess the question is is the price going to go up?
So none of that's been talked about yet. The actual business side of things was not discussed in these internal memos from what I saw of what was available. So we don't know exactly how it's going to work. Like I said, my suspicion is that it's going to be like a tiered thing where you'll have the ability to sign up for Paramount Plus without ads, Paramount Plus with Showtime, Paramount Plus with Showtime without ads. Yeah, that's my guess on how it's going to work, but there's no telling. The CEO said, we're committed to being as transparent and thoughtful as possible throughout this process, and we expect to share additional details in the coming weeks. So, don't know.
Right.
So, we'll know the business side of things probably in pretty short order. They did not intend for this to be public information. It was supposed to be internal. But there's no such thing anymore, so they should have been prepared, but they weren't. So there'll be a little bit of lead time before we find out exactly how all of this is going to tie together, and a timeline over which it'll happen. But they are saying that these three projects are not the only ones. I know that I don't know exactly what's happening with it, but I think Jordan Peele's reboot of the Twilight Zone may have been pulled from the service already. There, there's going to be content oddities as this happens. We don't know what all is going to happen, but he did say, while we're confident this is the right move for our company, our consumers, and our partners, we know this change brings uncertainty for the teams working on these brands and businesses. So they're aware, and they're warning people there are going to be we're not done. There are going to be other projects that get axed. So
I mean, people generally, I think, subscribe to Paramount Plus for. I mean, it has gotten better, but uh, I think they've generally been subscribing for Star Treks.
mm-hmm.
So, you know, as long as they're not axing my Star Trek, they
Yeah,
can
right.
axe anything they want. Um, they, it, it's. I mean, they have Evil is on there, and I don't think that's actually on CBS. I think that may be a streaming exclusive now. Um, but I don't really haven't watched past the first season.
It's just called Evil.
Uh, yeah, just called Evil.
Okay.
Um, oh, you can watch Clifford the Big Red Dog. Oh, I got to say this: the Nickelodeons, the the Nickelodeon stuff that's on here,
Mm-hmm.
like we actually end up watching quite a bit.
Nice.
Um, right? Because my daughter is obsessed with Blues Clues, so and makes me play her the Blues Clues movie over and over and over again. So could be worse. It's really could be worse. But anyway, um,
So season one was on CBS. Seasons two and three and beyond are Paramount Plus exclusives.
right, right, and they exactly. So that I could see them maybe giving up on that.
There is a fourth season ordered and paid for.
Yeah,
So
alrighty.
we'll see what
Um,
happens.
yeah, but you know, it's, I mean, good for them. I still think it's clearly a second tier streaming service. Um,
Yeah.
if you like Nickelodeon, if you like Star Trek, and or if you want to watch CBS shows, uh, although you could get those through a service like YouTube TV instead, but
Mm-hmm.
get
True.
them there. So,
It
but
is one of the services that I have. I Star Trek and Survivor are basically the reasons why I have it. The now 85 different Star Trek series and Survivor are basically the reason why I have it, though.
so I have been watching a lot of Hulu recently.
Mm-hmm.
So my streaming recommendations of the week are watch. Now I'm late to this because I'm sure everybody else has seen it first, but if you haven't, uh, watch Reservation Dogs on Hulu. That's a fantastic, hilarious show. Have you heard of that?
I've heard that. I've heard people say that.
Yes, on that is top choice.
Okay.
Um, I watched through the whole season of Kindred. That's pretty powerful show. And I started watching Extraordinary, which is a new British show on Hulu.
Oh.
That's kind of a comedy, but the premise is that everybody has superpowers except this one person. She hasn't gotten her superpower yet, but it's just like the premise aside, it's like just the way that they execute it is really funny. It's kind of, I won't get into it because there's some somewhat adult situations in the show.
Sure.
But anyway, those are my
Extraordinary.
yes, it's just called Extraordinary.
Okay.
Um, but anyway,
Added to
those
my
are
collection.
my Hulu recommendations. So anyway, there's I guess good for Paramount Plus. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll, of course, have information on that as soon as they make it public. Hello, YouTube. Thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this episode of F5 Live Refreshing Technology. If you did, please subscribe to the channel down below, and of course, hit the notification bell because we know that subscriptions don't mean much on YouTube anymore. If you've got topics that you'd like us to talk about in the future, please comment them down below. And if you'd like to not follow us on YouTube, there's lots of ways that you can follow along with our content by going to PLUGHITZlive.com/subscribe. There you'll see all of our shows and all of the ways that you can watch, listen, and follow along.